Rogelio, turn it up, let's go. Rogelio, feel the fire grow. Rogelio, break the status quo. Yeah. This is the Rogelio podcast show. Kicking the door, we don't
Hello,
tiptoe.
welcome to the Rogelio podcast show. My name is Rogelio, and thank you all for being here. From time to time, you're going to catch me looking down at my notes in my phone. I'm not reading off a script. I just want to get everything in order chronologically. I don't want to miss anything. And bottom line, I'm nervous, even though this is episode 3. Um, I wanted to talk about myself and how I'm more than just my job. For the longest time, my identity was tied to who paid me, whether I was a drug and alcohol counselor, a trucker, a railroader, a residential counselor, case manager, whatever. And I never really introduced people to Rogelio and who he is. I want to help, laugh, and inspire. Maybe someone needs to hear what I went through, what I'm going through. Life has kicked my ass. Sometimes all we got to do is laugh and everything's going to be okay. To understand why I'm sitting here behind this microphone, I want to tell you how it all started. Back in 2007, I hit a bottom pretty hard. For all of you that know the area of 880 and Maury in Newark, there used to be a Motel 6 right there. It's not there no more. But if you know about it and you know the shenanigans that got pulled over there, please schedule your colonoscopy. So one morning, I woke up and it was almost checkout time. And the woman who I was with asked me if I wanted to pay on another night. And it was at that moment, something came down, bam, and punched me right in the stomach. And I doubled over under the bed crying like a baby, snot bubbles and everything. I was desperate in that moment because I had a beautiful woman in the hotel with me. I had a pocket full of money. I had a pocket full of drugs. And I had a garbage can filled with ice and steel reserve. And none of it was working. That scared me. It's like I had this hole in my chest and I'm trying to stuff all this stuff in there. And it would stick for a minute. But after a while, the hole got bigger and that shit just fell right out. So, at that point, I went from there to San Mateo. I went to Palm Avenue Detox. I was there a little less than a week. And then March 8th, 2007, I went to a drug and alcohol treatment center for 90 days. Well, it was a 90-day program, but I ended up staying like almost 6 months. I remember when I was still in detox, the female counselor had said to me, "Hey, I found you a program in Hayward for 30 days. And I laughed. I told her, 1, I'm not going back to the hood. 2, I need more than 30 days. She said, I got you. Next thing I know, I was at Project 90 in San Mateo. And it was there that I got introduced to the 12-step philosophy, more specifically Alcoholics Anonymous. And that changed everything. That changed everything. I spent about 10 years helping people. A little over 10 years helping people. And then it got close, 2016-ish. I was working as a case manager for a nonprofit. I was doing outreach, actually. So outreach, I was going to homeless encampments, behind Home Depots, looking for individuals to try to provide services, housing, whatever they needed. And I was also doing Uber at the time. So after work, I picked up one of my first rides for that day. And it was a doctor that I picked up at Seton Medical Center in Daly City. And at that point, I took him to Santa Clara, to another hospital. And I parked, and I remember thinking, you know what? I don't want to take a doctor from Daly City to Santa Clara. I want to take a load of freight from Oakland to Dallas. I wanted to live out my dream. I wanted to be a trucker ever since I was a little kid. So not much long later, I was on a train down to Colton, California to a trucking school for CR England. And that is where I met one of my best friends. I was in my hotel room. It was the day before classes started. I was unpacking my bag. I think I was in the closet putting stuff away. And my door opens. So I swing around, and there's this big Samoan dude, like 6 something, close to 270, huge human being, but built. And I was like, what are you doing here? Oh, excuse me? Little did I know, at that moment, he was thinking the same thing about me. What are you doing here? Well, come to find out that the trucking company put two to a room, and we didn't know that. Long story short, we hit it off. We hit it off so much so that anytime we moved phases, we had to move another motel, and we made sure to went to the office and said, put us together. Because we had the same habits, we worked the same, we studied the same, we had the same type of hygiene, so we just fit. That lasted a year. And we could talk more about that in later episodes, but that lasted a year. And then up until this time, I had been applying for the railroad for 10 years. Every Class 1 railroad, meaning Union Pacific, Burlington, BNSF, Norfolk Southern, and Amtrak. And I got the call from Union Pacific. Ended up interviewing and getting the job as a trainman, where I stayed almost 5 years. And I was chasing that money. I thought I was chasing my dream. Eventually, the pandemic happened and life pushed me back into human services. Then it was I was at this one company for 4 years, nonprofit abode services. And during that 4 years, I honestly went through a detox of that blue collar world. I just spent 5-6 years being in that blue collar world, and now here I am back in human services. There's a difference in the vernacular and the way people talk to each other. So I like to say that it took me 4 years to detox. Bottom line, I became whatever logo was on my check. And for now, we're just going to stop there because I'm still searching. I'm a little closer, but we'll get there soon enough. For right now, here we go.
This is the